Hi. You will only have control when you no longer need it. I'm currently surrounded by snow, and I'm really starting to miss Thailand a lot. สวัสดีค่ะ สบายดีไหมคะ I've been living there for almost a year, you can say. In a way, there are many places I would rather be than where I am now. But at the same time, I feel that I have to be here. It's not logic, I just know. And although I became quite a master in letting go, there are still times that I wish that I had a little bit more control than I actually have. How do we let go of control? This tight grip where we feel like everything is in our own hands, but we are just hurting ourselves more by holding on to that idea. Control serves a purpose. And before we listen to why and how it wants to serve us, it will keep feeling like an internal fight to let it go. Choosing to let go of control is not a thing we simply decide. It is a result of allowing ourselves to go through whichever process wants to be completed. It's the same as grief. It moves in stages. How I've conceptualized it for myself is in 3 stages. The first stage is acceptance, which means the mind surrendering the desired outcome or timeline. The second stage is faith, where the heart stays open, even when there is no evidence that your hope is valid. And trust, where not only the mind but also the body communicates. Wherever I am, even in this space, I am safe and I'm being held. And I trust myself in the ability to hold myself, especially when I need it the most. This is where safety becomes internal instead of conditional, where the body stops reacting to the present as if it's the past. As long as our sense of safety has to come from the external, our system will keep treating old memories as future projections. The mind tries to control because it still believes that the past can be corrected and the future can be guaranteed. But being and becoming are the same thing when you stop resisting where you are. The feeling of release doesn't come from effort or control, but from non-interference with the natural intelligence of life that is always flowing through us. Back in the days, I was that person that always had an answer for everything. That was the way I had learned to not go deeper, to override the things that I really felt. It's a useful strategy until it isn't. Getting back to feeling after I had shut everything down because I was repeatedly walking into a wall, I became the wall. And I made sure that no one got in anymore. Forgiveness is not about doing one a favor. Forgiveness is when the heart stays open but the hands let go. It's about making a decision about how you want to continue moving through life, instead of holding on to the past and living in a timeline that no longer exists, while trying to control and dominate one that hasn't happened yet. Closing off my heart gave me a sense of control over where I could get hurt, but in the end it cost me more. To me, it became about weighing the risk, and the risk of not loving or not being loved is way bigger to me. Realizing that I would miss out on everything that makes connection life and experience so magical, the walls that we keep up to protect ourselves become the same walls that keep our happiness, deepest desires and fulfillment out. There's a big difference between fully giving up and letting go or choosing to hold things differently. Not having to go to the places within ourselves that ask for attention but hurt gives us a false sense of safety. But it's not real safety. It's the safety of avoidance, not the safety of true liberation. You are a coherent system. The mind, heart, the gut, they are all meant to communicate. As long as you keep avoiding parts of the self, you will live in fragmentation. And fragmentation feels like control, but it's actually disconnection from the self. I was living from the neck up. And the ability to feel again is what changed my life. And in the beginning, it was brutal. It feels like you get ripped apart because you didn't close stuff for no reason. It's a strategy. Because if at a certain point, things were too intense to experience or to feel, the fastest way to create safety is to cut it off. Cut it out like a coupon. But we have to learn how to move with our feelings instead of against them. How to invite our feelings in instead of avoiding them. How to get deeply intertwined with life and learn how to navigate the ebbs and flows of your internal world. To let the intelligence of life move through without going against it. Real power and control comes from not needing it to feel safe or whole. I could never find answers on how to do this, how to bring this into practice. And how I personally started doing it was by starting to communicate with my feelings instead of cutting them off, instead of avoiding them. When I look deeper into it, I noticed that most people barely interact with their own system. We don't really feel. And if we do that long enough, we start to cut off pieces of ourselves. So when a feeling hits me, or an emotion, I don't try to fix it. I locate it by naming it. And I ask myself, where in my body do I feel it? And I just stay present without solving it. This can feel very uncomfortable if you are used to overriding it, searching for direct resolution, avoiding it by distracting yourself. And instead of asking, how can I control this or not feel this, I change the question and ask myself, what is this trying to reorganize within me? Feelings are messengers, and most control patterns are interrupting the message. It's like refusing to open up your letters. You don't get rid of the message by avoiding it. You just end up with a pile of unopened letters. In order to change that, we have to notice, name, locate, stay present. Name, locate, stay present. You let the sensation be what it is, until it feels natural again. Everything comes in waves. You just have to let the wave complete its course. That is where we remove the internal friction and fighting, and where everything becomes coherent again. Wanting to be in control is what takes any sense of control away. It's an illusion. Thinking you have control while you are actually giving it all away. There are a couple of instances where I've experienced the intelligence of life, God, in ways that are unimaginable. Mind-blowing. But I won't go deeper into that because I don't want to color your experience with mine. Some things you have to experience for yourself. But what I can say is that we have way less control than we make ourselves believe. Your domain of choice is still restricted by other domains. It's just that you want to find the right harmony in when to let go and when to take charge. When your system is coherent, execution, discipline, devotion stops costing you your life force energy. And in the middle of that, you find something way more valuable than control will ever be. And that is flow. Buik. You will only have real control when you no longer need it. That's it for now. Gaat hierbij laten. Honor your inner space and carry yourself with grace. See you next time.
Return to your original architecture. Ambition aligned with inner coherence. Honor your inner space. Carry yourself with grace. Inner space.